so we're making some banners today against the sit-lie ordinance because we're saying that we should celebrate our public spaces and our sidewalks. So, and we're specifically focusing on youth and queer youth because that's who we are and have been. So, yeah, we're saying that queer youth come here for sanctuary often because we're kicked out of our houses and we need safe places to be.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And is it okay with you if this goes on YouTube?
Sure.
And can you give one of your names or all of them? Or
yeah, my
none?
name's Kendra Freshman.
Okay, thank you so much, Kendra. Look at these banners. Stand against sit-lie.
Oh, yeah?
The same people who support sit-lie cut our social services. This is great. And we're at Castro and Market, just opposite Harvey's. And you saw some action coming out of Harvey's earlier, didn't you?
Yes.
You want to, okay with you if this goes on the internet?
Sure.
The internet?
The World Wide Web, sure.
Okay.
Interweb.
So, right. So what did you see earlier here?
Well, we were setting up about 12:30, just getting our banner making materials out here ready with signs and getting ready to do outreach about sit law and how that affects people, you know, in particular homeless people, poor people, and people of color in this city who don't have other spaces.
And queer youth.
And queer youth.
Homeless
yep.
queer youth.
Homeless queer youth, which is the majority of youth actually in our city and in the United States.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the figures are close to 70% of youth are LGBTQ. Because of, you know, unfortunately because of discrimination and homophobia and transphobia still in the United States.
And it's amazing because that happened back in the Harvey Milk days in the 70s, didn't it?
Yes.
But can you explain what happened here? We're outside, speaking of Harvey, we're outside Harvey's, a gay bar.
Yes.
And what happened then?
Well, unfortunately, the owner of Harvey's came out here and started verbally assaulting us, saying we were not allowed to be on the sidewalk, and actually proceeded to rip up our signs, the signs that are behind you. Sidewalks are for people, no one sit-lie. So instead of him asking us what we were doing out here, speaking to us politely, having a conversation with us, he began threatening us and told us he was going to call the police on us. So we decided to stay. We told him to go ahead and call the police if we wanted to. Sidewalks are actually public spaces, so we have a right to be out here. And a lot of us actually over the years have frequented Harvey's. In fact, one of our friends was just there last night eating, so it's kind of sad that he came out here and verbally assaulted us.
So then I understand that a patron in there. Did you see that?
Yes, I did actually. I saw the end of that confrontation.
So what happened?
Well, she was very upset actually that he treated us that way. He was, you know, saying profane things towards us, and she actually ended up throwing her food back at him and telling him basically to fuck off for treating us the way that she did and that she actually supported us.
So did that make the guy back off when on the bottom line he was going to lose money and patrons and stuff?
Well, at first it didn't make him back off. He threatened to come out here with hoses and wash down the sidewalk while we were here. So we were ready to stay here and have him wash us down. You know, it's happened in civil rights movements of the past that we all know. So we were willing to do that. In the end, we got to stay here and, you know, speak our message and show support for people who need to use the sidewalk in this city and have the right to do so.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, this is one of the, these are actually two of the organizers, right?
We are out here in conjunction with Pride at Work. This is more their event, and they invited us to participate today. So my name is Carly, and I'm with One Struggle, One Fight, and we're here today with them.
Okay, and?
Yeah, I'm Ashley. With Ashley Simmons. I'm with One Struggle, One Fight as well, and we basically organized folks from our group to come out here for, you know, for us, like in addition to this being an attack on the homeless and LGBT people, like this is also a basic attack against democracy and people's basic civil rights. You know, it's a basic civil right in this country that you have the right to peaceably assemble, and this is actually, you know, to us something that could be turned against us as protesters, something that fundamentally like undermines the right to freely associate and assemble in a democratic society. So just for so many reasons. Also there's so many people that aren't even necessarily homeless, but live in really small residential hotel rooms, live in public housing where people aren't allowed to have guests sometimes in public housing, and actually that's their way to have community. And I don't think anyone should be pushed into the margins and isolated. It's actually a really unsafe dynamic. I think it would push a lot more youth deeper into the recesses of Golden Gate Park, which I could see make those youth prone to victimization much more easily. So just in so many ways, I think that this would create an unsafe, unjust situation here in San Francisco.
Oh my God, you're so articulate. Well, I worry a lot about the queer youth down here, and how can you? Have any of them talked to you about this and said how they felt about it?
Well, we've received a lot of support from people out here today, and we have seen some youth, not tons and tons, but we've been handing out some snacks, as you can see. So people have been receptive to that, and we're really trying to stress the feeling of community out here, and that we're all in this together, and that we support one another, want to inform people, but really have that sense of community. It's very important to us. That's something that's maintained here in San Francisco, and I think that pushing people off the sidewalk isn't the way to make people feel like they're part of a community at all.
And it's very important to let these kids know when they come here, they're going to be safe, they're going to be accepted. A lot of them are escaping from tremendous discrimination all over the country, and their home families have thrown them out. They need to feel safe here and welcome.
San Francisco has historically been a place of refuge for so many different groups of people, and especially for queer youth, especially in the Castro. This is where people come to have a safe place, and we want that to be upheld. We want that to be maintained.
Okay, thank you for this.
No problem.
And I will be